English.
Hello clickers and welcome to our second session of Unit 1. Yesterday we learned 3 expressions and today we're going to learn 3 new expressions. So you have already listened to the dialogue of Unit 1 twice, and now we're going to listen today for a third and fourth time. Okay, so to start with, you listen to Unit 1 again, the whole unit, and then you start listening, pausing the video, writing the expressions of today, okay, and then you have to think about 2 new sentences, your own sentence with these 3 expressions of today, okay? So the first expression is hard to swallow. When something is hard to swallow, it's difficult to accept, it's something unpleasant, usually an unpleasant situation that you go through, and it was hard to swallow. Or for example, there is a person that you don't like, okay? So there is Joe, and you know that he will be at a dinner party. You will be there and Joe will be there. So you say, oh my God, this situation tomorrow is gonna be hard to swallow because you don't like him, okay? So you mean, I will have to be at the dinner party, I will see him, I'll have to say hello. I'm almost sure it's going to be hard to swallow. Usually we talk about things that happened, okay? So let's suppose that the boss dismissed your best friend, and this situation was hard to swallow. So your friend didn't want to accept it, that her boss or his boss dismissed her. All right? So every time we go through an unpleasant situation, okay, and we cannot forget it, we say that this situation was hard to swallow. Swallow is, all right, when you put food in your mouth and you have to swallow it. So you need to accept that there is nothing you can do to change the situation, and it was hard to swallow, it was unpleasant, you didn't like the situation. All right, another example with hard to swallow. Okay, so there was an exam and you were expecting, okay, you were really looking forward to the results, but when you see the results, you didn't pass the exam, you failed the exam, and this failure was hard to swallow. You don't accept it because you were almost sure that you were going to pass. Oh my God, I failed it, okay? And I can still remember it. It was really hard to swallow. This is our first expression. Is there any situation in your life that was really hard to swallow? If you make sentences with real things, okay, it helps our brain to retain these expressions, okay? So, hard to swallow. Being 2 months at home due to the lockdown, the coronavirus lockdown, for me, at the beginning, mainly the first week was really hard to swallow. Then I got used to it, okay? And thank God the lockdown is over, but at the beginning it was really hard to swallow, okay? Second expression, to keep up with the Joneses. To keep up with the Joneses. It doesn't exist in every language. It doesn't exist in, the guys here are loud. I am at the beach, and you know that Italian people are really loud. So, keep up with the Joneses, as I was saying, it doesn't exist in all the cultures, okay? I saw it a lot in America. Keep up with the Joneses is when, for example, you have your neighbor and you try to compete financially with your neighbor or with a friend. Your friend buys the new iPhone. The following day you go and you buy the same iPhone, or a telephone that is more expensive than her iPhone. So you are always keeping up with the Joneses. You are competing financially. You want to show off that you have more money than your friend or than your neighbor. So you are keeping up with the Joneses, okay? If it doesn't exist in your culture, it's hard to understand this expression, okay? So to keep up with the Joneses is when your friend or your boss, even like you want to keep up with the Joneses because you want to show that you have more than your boss. It's not because he's your boss that he needs to be richer than you. So it's always related to money, to material things, okay? I saw this a lot when I traveled to the Emirates, okay? I saw many Emiratis, they want to keep up with the Joneses. Oh, he bought this car, I'm going to buy a car more expensive than his. Or they say, oh, what's your mobile? Oh, you have this mobile. My mobile is better than yours. I really don't like it, you know. I don't like this type of culture that people are trying to keep up with the Joneses. They want to show off. They want to say that they have more money than you. So this is to keep up with the Joneses. I don't try to keep up with the Joneses because I don't care if people have money or not. What matters to me is how the people are, their values, if they're nice people, okay, not their money. So actually, to be sincere, I don't like people that keep up with the Joneses. And you, does it exist in your country, this thing of keeping up with the Joneses? I hope not. So this is our second expression, okay? The first one, something is hard to swallow. I cannot forget about it because it was really shocking, it was unpleasant. The situation was hard to swallow. Keep up with the Joneses when people try to show off, they try to sometimes they even pretend they don't have all that money. They spend all their money to buy a phone, then they don't have money to eat, okay? Just to show off, just to say, I am rich, I have more than what you do, okay? For me, this is very superficial, to keep up with the Joneses. After all, we all are gonna die and we're not gonna take any possessions to heavens or wherever we go. All right? And then the final expression. Watch out, because this expression we can only use in the past. We cannot use this expression to talk about the future or to talk about the present, okay? So this expression talks about two actions that happened, one action immediately after the other, okay? So for example, I arrived home and I immediately went to bed because I was really tired. So, my God, I was so tired yesterday. I arrived home and I immediately went to bed. I did not brush my teeth, I did not, okay? The first thing I did was to go to bed. To express this, that two actions happened one after the other, immediately after the other, we say no sooner than. Okay, so the expression is no sooner than. I no sooner arrived home than. Check out that this then is spelled with letter A, not letter E, okay? Then I went to bed. Many people were, even natives, they spell this then with E because they think that it's an after, but no, it's the comparison then, okay? So I no sooner got home than I went to bed, all right? I no sooner got home than I went to the bathroom because I needed to pee, all right? So only in the past, all right, two expressions that happened. One happened and after 1 second, the other action happened. Another example could be, my parents no sooner arrived than we had dinner, because we were waiting for them, okay? My parents no sooner arrived at home than we had dinner. It means that they arrived, the first thing we did was to have dinner, okay? It's no sooner followed by then. Watch out. The first part I can use simple past, past continuous, or past perfect. There is no difference in meaning, or a slightly difference in meaning when I use past continuous. Okay, so for example, I could say, my parents had no sooner arrived than we had dinner. It's the same as my parents no sooner arrived with simple past, or my parents had no sooner arrived than we had dinner. No difference in meaning, all right? With past continuous, hard to think. Well, you have one example with past continuous in the dialogue. So you know the first thing you have to do is to write down the example with the that you have in the unit. Then you write two sentences on your own. So your sentence on your own could be either the first part is okay, can change. Simple past, I went, I saw, I did. Okay, so I no sooner did, I no sooner arrived, I no sooner saw something. Past perfect is the same. I had no sooner arrived, I had no sooner seen. Past perfect, had, and third column, okay, participle, past participle. This is another option. Or I was no sooner finishing lunch then my best friend called me. All right? An example with past continuous. The second part is always with simple past. So I can have simple past, past perfect, then past perfect, or past continuous, then simple past. Okay? The second part always with simple past. Okay? So homework. Watch the video once, unit 1. Then you watch and pause and write the 3 sentences. The 3 sentences with keep up with the Jonases, hard to swallow, and no sooner than. Then you write your 2 sentences with each of them. And you write on unit 1 the 9 sentences, okay? So that's it for our second session. Remember this repetition. Don't try to deceive yourself. If I tell you to watch twice, you have to watch twice, because in the end you will have watched 8 times and you will have memorized without studying. Okay, this is the natural way we learn a language, through repetition. I have some students that they don't understand it. I say, okay. They say, oh, JP, again, we're gonna see it again. Yes, because I know what I am doing. If I ask you to repeat, there is a linguistic reason for that, okay? If you do everything the way I ask you to do, you will learn this perfectly, okay? So see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Click.English